Aishah carrying hot soup in a bowl is just gonna be like, yeah, I'm going to go drop by Dunes real quick. I'll meet you in a moment.
I can come with you if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. I'm just a little bit worried about her.
Yes, understandable.
Oh, Oleander's also coming out. He's kind of like gripping his wrist and one of his, well, he's not wearing one of his gloves.
Ah, hello. Yes, I burned my hand.
Are you okay? Do you need
I'm going
healing?
to get ice.
Do you need healing?
Oleander, wait!
Oleander, wait!
Alright, healing. Right, that's a thing.
Yes, come over here, and I've got wraps. Goodness gracious me. I'll have to have them at a monastery.
This is what happens when you crit fail on Tinker's
Oh,
Tools.
buddy.
Oh no!
Yes, I did accidentally touch the forge.
What do you mean accidentally touch the forge?
Do I need more words?
That's one.
Touch
That's
it
rule one of
momentarily,
the
or did you
forge
just-
is don't.
Well, it was a situation where since it wasn't my standard forge that I had worked in, I neglected to remember where things were.
So a word from the wise,
Oh.
Oleander. If you get a burn this bad, don't put ice on it. That'll actually make it worse.
Good
It
to
may
know.
feel nice, but it won't help you in the long run.
That's very good to know.
Think about it this way. If your hand is a super hot thing, you're going to want something sort of room temperature to cool it down to that first. And then once it's room temperature, you can cool it down to cold. You want to ease it in, otherwise your skin is going to, die.
Kind of full off.
That makes sense.
Yes. And then that can lead to a risk of infection. It's a whole ordeal. I don't need to talk your head off about it. I'm sure you know
But
all of
also
this.
you have Vera's just like gently like running her fingers over the burn. You also have people who have healing.
Yes.
I forgot about
Yes.
that. I also did not know where you were, so my first thought was to go to where I knew people were.
That's very fair.
Reasonable.
I won't blame you for that one.
Speaking of people who have healing, if that still hurts, we are going to go check up on Dune if you'd like to come with. Aishah's been holding this soup like in the crook of her shoulder this whole time. Oh goodness, I splashed it a little bit.
I don't think I'm going to be working in the forge for the rest of the evening, so...
I don't recommend it. I don't want your burn getting any worse. Whenever you get the chance, probably sometime tomorrow afternoon, Safa was asking to talk to you again.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Just be warned, we're trying to, ease the Spider Queen's influence upon them, and it kind of worked for one, and Safa was the one it kind of did not work on at the time.
Safa is also a mage with Misty Step, be warned.
Yes, so if he's not in his wits, don't go alone.
Yes.
But hopefully
Yeah.
tomorrow when me and Lark,
Yes.
yes, go back. Hopefully it will work, and hopefully we can lesser restoration the rest after it.
I will stop by at my earliest convenience.
Wonderful.
Since you're all going to be so focused on the healing, unfortunately I'm not much of a healer. Most of my remedies are very, mundane. I do think in the next few days, I may make a trek out to the mountains, just to confirm something.
Well, hopefully I would like to join you.
Yes. I'm just thinking about time management. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be efficient here. If I don't do anything, I get a little bit antsy, and I don't really have much to do at the moment.
I think an outing would do us all good. An outing that does not have an impending doom hanging above our heads.
No timers of death, no world-ending powers, no trauma.
Harvesting some minerals?
Just a nice little trip into the wilderness. Look at some flowers, maybe. She smiles at Oleander.
Ooh.
That is actually something I've been really wanting to do here. I want to create an almanac.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if you'd like to help me, Oleander.
Oh, I would love to help with that.
Already I've observed quite a variety of abnormal plant lives here.
I'm very intrigued as well. So, I'm not the best at spelling in common.
It's alright. We can give you a few pointers.
Do you two need us? Do you two need like a professional writer?
Are you a scribe? Because I'm terrible at it.
I was forced into calligraphy classes.
Oh shit, right.
I'm
We've got
pretty
one of
writing
high
in my
class over
native
here. How could I
tongue.
forget?
I'm not high class.
You know
Shut up.
calligraphy! You
Yes!
prissy fucking bitch, of course you're high class.
Shut up.
Is that not standard education?
No!
I'm known to write very quickly. I just don't know if anyone can actually read both.
Oleander, I came from the equivalent of a of a science laboratory. Sold as a slave, Oleander. I didn't learn how to
And
write
I also
until...
came from the equivalent of a science laboratory, but I was the scientist.
I didn't learn how to write until I was maybe 30, and by that time, writing was just not useful.
Because you didn't have any hands.
With that and who was it going to write to?
That's
Anyway, sorry. Dark topics. I should not make light of them. What I was trying to say is, I want to make records. Flora, fauna, corrupted creatures, their weaknesses, resistances, potential conditional immunities. I've noticed some beings here are completely immune to the key that I possess, and cannot be stunned whenever I pinch a nerve. I wonder if it's something to do with the corruption or something further.
I think that's very important to write. I also think some of the creatures are variable, like the poppies. They don't always have the same. They don't have the same resistance.
And I'm gonna pull out the one character item that I spent half of my starting gold on. She pulls out the spyglass. Yeah. Ah, hey! Oh, hey, man. Hey, man.
Don't you fucking
Bites
dare.
Oleander's head off.
Shock pop.
I do think that my perception, though, is incredibly valuable here. With your writing, your knowledge of plants, and my knowledge of animals, together I believe we could make a very good team as far as recording the inhabitants of this demiplane.
Oh, goody.
I agree.
Oh,
We should walk and talk.
yes. That's my thoughts. When we go out this time, it will both be an exercise in stretching our legs and also an exercise in observation.
Ooh, yes.
I think I packed everything up. What did I miss? Oh, everyone's going.
We're going to go check on Dune.
Oh, there's my door.
Dune, are you in there?
Whatever it is, I'm sure I'm not presentable at the moment.
We don't care.
You're not going to go away till I answer the door, are you?
No.
Dune, you're going to really want this, I promise.
So, she opens the door. What you see is her normally combed hair. It's all frazzled to hell. There's blood and bile leaking from the sides of her mouth. Her voice is like kind of hoarse. She looks like death.
Aishah's grin just widens. She holds up the soup.
What is...
Fresh made from dairy. Figured you should eat something today.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you.
You sound like death. You look like death.
Well,
Have you met death?
somehow no. Although I was
Good.
pretty damn close. Come in if you wish.
She's gonna come in and just set the bowl down on the counter.
Sorry for the mess.
You're fine.
Oleander starts to clean.
Only you don't have to do that. I can.
Dune.
Oh, no. Sit, rest. The smell can't bother me because, well...
Points at Mask.
She's gonna sit at the foot of her
I
bed.
got something fun. I'm gonna take some herbs and spices from a spice rack here, and I'm gonna sprinkle them into the soup, specifically ones that are like nice and soft and relaxing for someone who's sick, you know, that sort of thing. It's like maybe some like soft coriander bits, a little bit of like thyme.
Oh yes, sprinkle in some thyme.
Some thyme? Oh god damn it, thyme.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah, I'll put some thyme in there. Yeah, they're soft aromatics, which will not only smell nice, they'll feel nice.
Helps with the stomach issues, you know, after
Yeah,
vomiting out your
also wanted to
babies.
be able to eat it.
Vomiting spiders? Take these herbs to cure yourself now.
And she'll come over to Dune, and she'll have Basically set it down on like a wooden platter. Make maybe the cutting board so Dune can have it on her lap and not burn herself.
Thank you, Aishah. She'll like pull like a small heater from her pocket or something like that, probably kind of wipe off her face a little bit. I'm sorry, I must look such a fright.
Really nearly gave us one.
You do.
Fear.
She does.
Why am I the adult in the room?
I appreciate your honesty there.
I'm not going to lie to her.
I wasn't going to lie to her, I was just going to ignore it.
She'll take a small little taste of the soup, choke it past her ravaged throat.
Yeah. Hopefully it's been smoothed out enough for you.
Sorry, my voice seems a bit off. Having little freaks claw their way out because of the tendency to upset your ability to speak.
I completely understand. Those monsters caught all of us off guard. It's nothing you have to be sorry for.
I admit that you feel a bit guilty for not realizing something was wrong sooner or bringing those things here to the camp. That could have gone a lot worse than it did.
If you feel guilty, then I should feel guilty. And I don't. So stop that.
Why would you feel guilty?
You weren't the only one.
She also had spiders?
Oh dear!
Mine just happened to be weaker. I dealt with them.
She just looks at you as if someone would look at someone who's a sister in trauma.
And she's gonna place a hand on Din's shoulder and just go, "Don't blame yourself. Those monsters did what they did."
Well, I can assure you I now have a distinct hatred for spiders.
Believe me, that's not the
Join
end
the
of our
club.
problems with spiders. Oh, it just gets worse.
I heard you brought back survivors.
Yes.
Indeed.
We're dealing with a couple who are, Spider Queen blinded. Can you cast Remove Curse?
Could I? I regret to inform you I am not quite
That's okay. Locke can
that
cast
strong.
it. We're working with it. If we had multiple people, it would make it easier, but...
Can he? That's fascinating.
Your throat still sounds dreadful. Here. I see these little tins here. I'm gonna assume that one of these has cream in it. So I'm gonna get a little small glass of cream. I'm gonna hand it to Dune for her throat.
Thank you. I might have some tea or something around. Would either of you like some?
I'm okay with that.
I'll be fine for now. I did just eat.
When I requested furnishings for this place, I had the full intention of playing host to all of you. I just didn't think it to be under these circumstances.
Don't worry, you'll still be able to. When you're better.
And not, full of spiders.
And when you're better... she's gonna look over to Oleander. Oleander, do you have a moment?
Yes.
I want to discuss the almanac.
Ah, yes.
An almanac?
Yes. Something to entertain us that isn't so dreadfully dreary.
Aishah.
What?
You are a kinder woman than you give yourself credit for.
Oh, stop that.
I'm serious. You brought a sick woman soup.
Yes, because I don't want to see you falling over dead.
That's called being kind, dear.
If you were dead, I'd have one less sword by my side. It's just pragmatic.
It's
Explain it any way you have
She
to.
holds her hands behind her backs. You can keep thinking I'm kind all you want. Although, I think at least Fear would notice as she turns her back a little on Dune, she is kind of smiling.
Hey.
You can continue to be a crotchety old woman all you want. I know your true colors.
Aishah is so Cinderella.
She's great. She's very fun. I'm glad you
Cinderella
guys all
Sassy old grandma.
you guys all turned her around to be a lot more positive, and it's a lot more fun to play her when she's positive.
There's a line from a song, and even a heart of stone can warm when no longer alone.
Trauma bug.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's going to say then, flowers, animals, those sweet onions that you so like.
Oh, yes. Well, it's not that I like them so much, it's that they are just very common and easy to work with.
Well, they don't exactly have a name, nor any documentation. So I thought, why not change that? We're always out there, might as well use some of our off time to study the environment.
Such records could help people who come in the future.
They'd surely take a lot of stress off of Jerry's shoulders. As far as I can tell, he's the sole cartographer.
And I do have quite an extensive knowledge when it comes to various recipes and cooking.
Yes. Maybe you could even help with a section on safety levels. Edible if cooked, completely poisonous no matter what, that sort of thing.
Of course, I'd be more than happy to help.
Oh, and Gerkin, don't think you're excluded. Magical properties of objects in this demiplane have yet to be discovered too.
Records of minerals and such and their use could be invaluable to the more inventive types.
Yes, I'm aware. There's so much unknown about the original plane. Finding interesting interactions between new things found on this demi-plane would certainly be an interesting take.
All right.
Look at us, taking an awful situation and just being so pioneer about it.
I'd say it beats worried about being filled with spiders.
Or anything else.
That being said, it'll also help others to avoid that fate ever befalling them again.
Anyway, Oleander, what were you working on that you burned your hand?
I was working on an addition to the firearms.
Oh, do you need any help? I know my way around a forge quite well.
Maybe. I will consider.
Firearms, is that why your hands burned?
A little bit, probably.
Oleander,
Yes?
and feel free to fly out state now, but I know your weapon is very powerful and you might be concerned as to it being used incorrectly, but given the situation, do you think you might want to share the designs with a local forger?
No.
I didn't think so. I figured it might be a way to bolster the town's defenses, but I can understand your hesitation.
It's
He's just gonna place a hand on Dune's shoulder. Let's table.
I don't intend to push,
yes,
Aishah.
okay.
Dune just kind of looks around at everybody.
If we're looking for somewhere to start, maybe tell us why that flower of yours is so significant. And she looks to the flowers on his hat.
Can we close the windows? Or make sure that they can't be seen through? Is that something that's on this house?
Scoot a chair past everyone.
Well, they're a flower that I quite like.
He'd kind of like reach up and then take off his hat slowly, and he would then reach up a bit more and kind of take a deep breath and go,
Okay.
and then he would take off his mask for everyone.
I think this is the first I've seen you without your mask, Oleander.
Oh, well, yes, that makes sense.
You are quite an attractive young man.
People keep saying that. I don't understand.
It's true!
It's not incorrect.
Technically, he's like several hundred years older than everyone else here.
I'm 26.
I think rather aside the point at the moment.
This is my face.
It's a very good face.
Dune, you're going to embarrass him more.
Let the man talk.
Okay. He would look down at Lily of the Valley, toying with it a little bit. These firearms that I've made have a very dark origin. I didn't design them. I'm actually very bad at designing things. I found the information. Don't even remember where I found it anymore. And to not go into too many details, it's cursed.
Cursed, you say?
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
The information is alive.
Not the gun, but how to make one.
Yes.
I see.
So it's not the weapon itself that poses danger, it's the information by its very nature.
Yes.
Aishah just tilts her head. I see why you weren't willing to share it, but if the information is cursed...
Very broad for a curse.
No, not what I'm saying. If the information is cursed... She just looks at him.
Well, after an incident, it left. Wherever it is now, it's gone. I don't know how to make them anymore.
I see.
I see.
It's best to think of it as not even information, just a person. Even these, he kind of looks down at Lily of the Valley. These aren't actually created off of it. This is just me trying to emulate what I remember it looks like.
And do you have none of this original weapon left?
I don't think so. I woke up one morning and it was gone. And then about a week later, I was here.
How does such a thing come about?
Perhaps the two are related.
What?
The information and the demiplane?
Information goes missing, then here a week later? That seems a bit
Maybe.
too close together to be coincidence.
Yes, but many of the things can be attributed to being killed.
That's
Being
what
coming
I was
here?
going to say.
The curse could have just killed him.
My arrival here was not its doing directly. No, I the first day I got here, I lied. I do remember why I'm here.
But this information, this person, why did it come about to begin with? Was it something you learned that then gained an identity? Or did it grab a hold of you someday?
I don't remember how the parchment came into my possession. I believe that it probably took. But I do remember that when I read it, it disappeared off the paper. I think it moved into my head.
I see. If this information, and I apologize if this question is blunt and possibly tone deaf, but I must now. If this information is so dangerous, why attempt to recreate it at all? Why not just forget about it?
Because something it told me one day. I don't remember all the details, it's still foggy, but all I can remember is I think that using something that looks like it is the only way to kill it.
Like a fight fire with fire situation.
Yes, something like that.
Only information more dangerous than it can kill it.
I see.
Like something like that?
I believe so.
And I take it, this is just a guess, but you might feel as though sharing the information might give it strength.
That is possible, yes.
Then I'm sorry for bringing it up.
I haven't heard its voice for a long time. Its actual voice. But sharing even something that looks like it seems too big of a risk.
Oleander, you're welcome to trust us. Is any of it still around with you?
I don't know. Maybe. When I woke up and it was gone, he reaches up and then kind of pulls back part of the collar of his tunic cloak, reaches in and pulls out a necklace. This was on me when I woke up and then it was gone.
I look at the necklace. What exactly is it?
Can I also look at the necklace?
Yeah, you can.
Can I also look at the necklace?
You may all
We are
look
all
at the
looking at the
necklace.
necklace.
Everyone look at the
Intently.
necklace. In order now.
Gerkin's looking at the gun.
Cursed
see, I believe
information,
it's-
you say? I want me some of that.
Aishah, you recognize that? They had a bunch of people wearing those where you're from. Those were that's a parapet of wound closure.
Oh, what? Can you spell that?
Oh yeah, this parapet of wound
Periapt?
closure. Periapt? I probably how you say it. I'm
Is
bad
that how you
at words.
spell it?
Yeah.
Periapt?
Oh yeah,
Periapt?
That's-
Like pariah and then pariah up.
Pariah is this.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't know what periapt is. Okay.
It's a weird fucking word.
I've never heard that word before in my life.
Pariah is a charm or an amulet. It's another word for amulet.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's very apt.
Not Taliyah!
And Vir throws herself out the window.
That's a wildcat.
Oleander, can you put that gun to my head real quick?
Send me to the decaplane. Send me to the decaplane.
I want to go to the demi plane.
Oh yeah, no, I need to go deeper. Shoot me in the fucking
I
face.
want to go deeper. Okay. So
Oh,
sorry.
the
It's a
tower.
periaptive wound closure. Does that just mean it's like a little healing charm?
So, from what
Auto
you can remember,
stabilizes you whenever you're down.
yeah, in layman's terms, it makes it to where you won't die outright, even if you're stabbed in a really bad way, and whenever you take a little bit of a short rest to sort of regain a little bit of your health and whatnot, you get a little bit of a bonus for that.
She's gonna look at it and just go, follows suit as a periaptive.
Oh,
Do you know
is
what?
it? I did not know what it was called.
It's rather common where I come from. It's to protect those who are to be slain on the field of battle. Should you fall, it raises the chances that you do not die.
He looks at it for a long moment.
You
I
don't
wonder why I
put
have
those
them.
on suddenly and fix problems. Those are an item that requires attunement.
Someone must have given it to you.
I suppose so. I'm not sure who.
Someone who wanted you to stay safe, I suppose.
I can't imagine who that would have been.
Oleander. Despite your best efforts to dissuade us, you are a genuine person. A pleasant individual by which no means would I ever wish harm upon. Upon coming here, you've opened my eyes to the possibility of goodness still being in the hearts of mortals. Don't consider yourself beyond the feelings of compassion of others.
I will try.
And she's gonna then put a hand on his shoulder and go, and even if you were, you aren't now.
Thank you.
Of course.
But that is why I do not want to share how to make more. Because even if I do trust all of you, and I do very much. If more were made, they could be taken or reverse engineered, like I'm doing. That sort of thing.
I agree with your opinion. I don't think you should share the information.
Your caution is understandable.
Even if you don't share the information about the weapons themselves, the principles of precaution can be shared. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I worry that if this entity took a proper liking to you, what the reason for that would be, and why it suddenly vanished, just raises more questions to me. I imagine I'm missing part of the whole story still, but...
Oleander kind of rubs the mark on his cheek. It might have just been done with me.
What if it left you because it found another?
Most likely.
In which case, the knowledge could very well have already been proliferated.
Not quite as likely.
Both of those are assumptions made on blind guesses. The logic
My
flies,
one-
though.
Go off of.
My one hope as to that not being true is the fact that you're all from far in my future, and I've never seen one.
I've studied many weapons, many inventions, and many discoveries in my day. I'm over 200 years old, and I've never heard of it. If it had proliferated like you said, Dune, I'd have not heard of it.
At least in passing.
So in
That's my one bit of hope.
that case,
Please, it could be waiting.
Although, based on what I've observed, I have heard of some things that follow the principle.
Did it tell you what it wanted, Oleander?
Those are far more large. What have you got?
No, not particularly. Though I can somewhat guess based on what I did.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but did it force you to do things? You don't need to name specifics if you don't feel comfortable.
It didn't. Oftentimes I wish that it had. It would be far easier to stomach if I'd been forced to. He kind of starts tearing up.
You're reasonably distraught. It didn't control you say? Are you sure? And I don't mean in a puppeteering sense. I don't mean in a I grab your hand and force it forward. I mean in a manipulative sense. There are more ways to force someone than just simply pushing them in a direction.
It did manipulate me. Yes. Though, from what I recall, it didn't have to try that much.
Forgive me then for not understanding why, what caused you to change your mind.
When it was gone, I was just left with my own thoughts for the first time in a long time. And I was sat in what I had done. And it sat. I wish I'd hated it sooner. But I didn't. I enjoyed it. It wasn't there anymore, and I still had enjoyed it. It was only after it had set in what I had done. So then I gathered my things. I made what I could remember. He looks down at Lily of the Valley. And then I went to go find it again. But I didn't make it far. He kind of reaches up and rubs his neck a bit.
I'm glad you're comfortable enough to share this.
I never thought I'd be able to.
I know that feeling well. You're in like company.
Oleander looks at Dune. It's why I had an outburst in the tower. You reminded me very much of how I sounded back then, when it had first started helping me.
I'm glad that you stayed your hand. Your reaction is understandable.
Thank you.
And Oleander?
Hmm?
The man you are now is vastly different from the man you were before. You hold regret for what you've done, which means that you've grown as a person since. You not consider yourself irredeemable. You are anything but.
I just wish to make it up to them.
Look at me for a second, please.
Hmm?
In the eyes.
He does so.
Where are you right now?
In Dune's house?
Yes, and where is Dune's house?
In home.
Right. And where is home? Maybe I should ask a more
Home is where the heart
specific
is, wait, no.
question. When is home?
I don't think.
Technically, it could be outside of all of time and space.
She's gonna wave off Gerkin. Shut up. Let me do my thing.
I'm not sure.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is today tomorrow?
No?
Is tomorrow last week?
No.
Then are you the man you were many years ago?
No.
Correct. You're in the present. That's all that counts.
I believe it is hard with it still being so recent, all things considered.
I know. You don't have to feel better. You don't have to feel good, even. Feeling miserable is understandable. All I'm saying is that you can't let that misery stop you from stepping forward.
He kind of nods a bit.
Because maybe today won't be happy. Or tomorrow, or next week, or next month. But eventually it'll feel better.
I have a long, long way to go before I won't be able to rest properly until I've given them all their meals.
Well, if you can't take a step forward, that'll never happen, right?
That's true.
So, she's going to take his hand, and you feel as her hand squeezes gently, and only Vir would probably notice the winds. And she's going to gently pull Oleander up to his feet, and still looking him in the eyes, gives a soft smile and says, "So can you take a step forward?"
He takes a step.
Wonderful. And she lets go of the hand and looks at him again and just goes, "That's all you need."
Thank you. All of you. This will make the next 352 odd years more bearable.
Well, that's a lot of meals.
Yes, it is. Oh, right. Culture. In my culture, you're supposed someone can't get to the afterlife until they've had their last meal. So, a sign of respect to anything you've ended the life of is to set aside one and have it in private for them.
Your culture truly is a truly beautiful one.
Thank you. He kind of looks down at the ground. I have 257,220 left. Not counting anything I kill along the way.
One at a time, Oleander.
Yes. One at a time.
Perhaps I'll go and meet the new people you brought in.
They did seem nice.
Yeah?
Dune, that is something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes?
You worked with children, yes?
Yes, I did.
We found a group of children. There's the orc boy, and I think there's a young tabaxi, and there's a few others. A couple cat girls.
I believe one of them was scared of me.
A couple of them are scared of Aishah.
They should be.
Okay, we're brushing past that. I want to continue my train of thought.
At the mention of who was there, Dune was eating, but Dune just kind of pauses. Did they say anything?
I did hear one of them because I was scolding Vezrin for being very drunk. The little orc boy, what did he say? Did you work with somebody who was named Maria?
Dune freezes.
Bad memories?
Her eyes go wide. A little bit of tears in her
I
eyes.
think I broke her, guys.
Dune is going to slowly set down the cutting board and bowl, stand up, and fucking run for the door.
Can I try to grab her?
What the fuck?
I put my head back to. Where are they now?
Calm
Calm
down.
down! An explanation would be lovely.
My name is Maria.
That's not an explanation.
More questions than answers. I'm gonna go to the window, open the window flame again open. Dune!
Oleander just quickly puts on his mask again and his hat.
Went off into the
Not
distance.
dash into town to look for the kid.
Do you think?
She's gonna hurt his throat again yelling, isn't she?
How long is it going to take her to realize that it would be far quicker if she simply asked?
She asked and then tried to give us an explanation and then didn't stay for the answer.
It's a kid that knows her.
Let me
That's
put the chairs
about
away.
all I got from that.
Gerkin's gonna put the chairs away.
I do understand. I understand the excitement.
Right. I just.
The entire time I'm running, there is only one word repeating in Dune's mind. Please.
I fear that her expectations may be too high.
So do I, but that's not my place to tell her.
He's probably gonna hurt her already damaged throat, screaming kids' names, looking for them.
Oh, hey, kid.
Probably.
It's been a long time. Yesterday I got completely destroyed by spiders out my esophagus. What's up with you? Oh, you know, murdered by
I've been, you know,
heretics? Ah, of course.
Willingly corrupting myself to,
Fucking hell.
for powerful means.
Honestly, what does she expect?
Dune runs up, pauses a moment to catch her breath, flings open the door, now looks around, tentatively start walking up. Theodore?
The kid kind of like was talking to the other kids next to him and kind of like looks around here and his name and then kind of like looks back at you and just like, oh, yeah, that's my name. Who are you, miss?
It's me.
Hi, it's me. I'm Theodore. How'd you know my name?
It's me, Maria.
He kind of like squints and kind of like looks at you, tilting his head. It's just like, no, you're not. You don't look nothing like Miss Mariah.
Tell me, what exactly looks different?
You're really scary.
Is it the hand?
What hand?
She holds up her right hand.
That's scary too, but no, your face looks scary. Why is your hair all smoky?
Okay. I look at Larry. Is my hair smoky?
I have no idea. No, you look normal to me, Dune.
Oh, I knew it. What have you done?
I did nothing. This is not my doing, though
I show you.
the child being here is, unfortunately, technically my doing. He would have died otherwise.
Thank you for that. Theodore, I know I look different, but it is indeed me. I don't know what you're seeing. This place has a way of messing with people. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to prove it. No matter. It is good to see you again.
He just kind of like nods, having a mug that's like about as big as his hands and whatnot, just kind of sipping on juice. Not really say anything, kind of like definitely looks afraid of you.
I turn away so he doesn't have to look at my face. How about the others? Have you seen anyone else from the orphanage here?
Miss Mariah told me never to talk to strangers and tell them information like that. Said that would get people killed.
I know it's hard to believe, but it really is me. I made a deal or something. Remember the fire, but I don't remember much after that.
So that's something even bigger that tells me that you can't be Miss Mariah. Miss Mariah would never make a deal with something that she don't know. Unless it's Miss Sarah and Ray.
There's only one situation in which Miss Maria would have made any deal of anything. to save you and the rest of the children.
Mm,
Surely you can think of something that only Miss Maria would know.
kind of squints again.
Like that time I caught you and Franklin trying to paint Miss Sarah's hair while she was sleeping.
I don't remember that.
Dear gods, what has happened?
An unfortunate side effect, possibly, or trauma, possibility. Dying does take a strain on people, after all.
Well, if you can't think of anything, that's alright, but there's nothing about Maria that I do not know. For again, I am her. Although I've been going by a new name lately for safety while traveling. If you can't recognize me as Maria, then you can at least call me Dune.
Okay, scary lady, I'll call you Miss Dune.
What exactly do I look like to you? Curiosity.
Scary?
Yeah, you said I have smoky hair?
Hmm?
What about my face? What does my face look like?
I don't
Besides
want to look
scary.
at that anymore. He's looking away.
Fair enough.
It's too scary.
I kind of shoot a look at Larry that basically says, I need something strong now.
He just goes into the cabinet and just like holds up 3 fingers behind his back, kind of denote this is gonna probably be a 3 gold drink.
She places it out.
Onto the counter, takes up the gold.
You fucker, Richard.
Thank you, Larry.
Mm-hmm. Just give it time, I'd say. And hey, at least he kind of leans closer and lowers his voice. At least the kid's alive. That's a good thing.
That's the only thing keeping me together right now.
Don't worry. Got this.
I hope some way to find a way to prove it is me. And I am glad to see you're safe.
Thanks, scary Dune lady.
Alright, so I'm gonna see Dune hollow inside.
I should clarify. There's a bit of being hollow there, but there's also a undertone of resolve.
Dude.
He just kind of pauses and looks at you.
Hello. May I invite you in for a second?
What do you need?
Well, that is the thing. I need to help you.
With what?
Oleander walks up.
You and everyone else just helped me through something very hard. I know that look on your face. Please come inside.
I'll be perfectly alright on my own.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. I'm not leaving.
Leave me be, Oleander.
Well, do you remember, what I promised, in the tower?
What was that?
I promised you that I would make sure that you never went down a dark path.
And how can you make such a decision? And I can't even figure out where I'm going either. And I don't even know who I am!
Who am I? I'm not sure anymore.
I was never originally Dune. And apparently I'm no longer Maria!
Well, whoever you are, you're my friend. And I'm going to do what I wish someone would have done for me. And I think that if you had been where I was and had seen me, you would be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing now.
She just looks you dead in the eye and she says, "Help me."
Oleander just takes Dune's arm and then is gonna slowly start leading her to his place.
Oleander, what do you know of purification?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I know things. I know that I've been able to help people in the past, though I'm not exactly sure why.
I saw child Theodore's that they didn't recognize me. They said I looked scary. That my hair was shrouded in smoke.
Here, come sit down. So he remembered you but didn't recognize you?
They flat out denied that that was me.
Well, this place does have a way of changing us.
They were seeing a version of me that no one else was seeing, apparently. As if the power I've been using has changed the very fabric of who I am.
Maybe it has a little bit.
I went to a tailor and I ordered a mask.
You ordered a mask?
I ordered it so that I could be around Theodore without scaring him. If that is the version of me that he sees, then something is drastically wrong. Something I've been blind to that I must do something about now.
I think I agree that
And then there's this. I hold up my right hand, where the corruption has encased it.
Oh my.
This is the same hand with which I wield my weapons, including that one, that scythe. I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try something.
Anything in particular?
First step would be to summon said weapon, and then I intend to take every bit of power given to me by Sarenrae and pour it all in at once. Try to purify it. Purify me.
Interesting. I think that is a good idea, but not right now. I think that...
I don't think I have any more time. I feel it in my bones, Oleander. I am at a crossroad.
I know.
Is it ideal? Absolutely not. But it must be done. Surely you understand that.
I do, yes. However, Dune, or would you prefer me to call you something else?
My original name.
Maria?
The name I had before I started traveling. I was Maria Machiavelli.
Maria. Lovely name.
Dune is the name I chose when I set out, because I think it was, so that my actual name would not be recognizable to the ones I hunted.
Maria Machiavelli. That's first name Maria, last name Machiavelli. Okay.
Yes.
First and last names are a concept not in my culture, so that it becomes a little difficult anyway.
That's fascinating, honestly.
Yes, well.
I'm not sure if I even deserve that name anymore. As things are.
He would take off his mask and set it down. I'm going to try and help, because I think I know a little bit about purification. And because you're not in the proper headspace to try it yourself, I'm going to do it for you. Because I know that deep down, you might end up hurting yourself because you think that's what you deserve. But I think no such thing.
Promise me one thing, Oleander. She's going to stand up on a kind of chair, walk over a distance, and around, and she's going to take out the mask. If this goes wrong and I lose control, promise you'll kill me.
That was part of the original promise I made. Yes.
She's going to put on the mask.
We're going to start small. All right?
She summons the weapon.
All right. Not starting small, I see.
I wish he could hear me. I could tell him that you're an all or nothing, apparently. I do not agree that you should die, but I believe in you. Right?
You don't want to see me die, Renewer?
No, I don't.
Then for once, help me hold control.
I've been helping constantly. What do you think's going on right now?
She's going to start praying. Every prayer that she has ever learned since she was a child, every prayer to Sarenrae that she has memorized, she's going to start to recite them all now.
Okay. Doing you're holding out the weapon and whatnot, for a moment you feel like there's a small bit of warmth, but then the warmth kind of slowly fades, and when you think you're about to start to lose control, you don't.
Oleander, if you're going to do something, do it now. And she's going to just keep chanting these prayers over and over and over again. Warmth
Alright.
or not, she is not going to stop, as it is the only thing grounding her right now. At least in her own mind.
All right. Oh. Let me ACI, please give me strength.
This kind of probably dims immensely as you're focusing on a specific point and everything.
Hmm.
And while it's not an immediate change, within like half a minute, 30 seconds, give or take, and beyond, you would notice that certain spots on the weapon are kind of shifting color from that bonish white yellow to have purple accents. Primarily starting with like the blade.
At the same time, Maria would be trying to change the form of the weapon. Modifying it from a scythe, something used to reap, to harvest, to take, and to turn it into a longsword.
Now, Maria,
Yes.
repeat after me. Oleander is gonna guide her in a prayer that he is just kind of not making up on the spot, but basically just he has a feeling in his soul, and he is just gonna say the first stuff that comes out and be like, okay, whatever comes out, that's the prayer, that's what feels right, that's how it's gonna work.
Oh shit. Okay.
So, repeat after me.
Right.
Let this lost one
Let this lost one
be returned to their beginning.
be returned to their beginning.
Allow them to walk the path of renewal,
Allow them to walk the path of renewal.
the path of redemption.
Path of redemption.
Boom. Done, Richard.
Yeah, whenever you finally open your eyes again, the minute passes, the mask fades, Oleander's wings fade, the light dimming. It would be a longsword. The blade, this purplish hue.
Oleander.
Feel better?
Should drop the sword and hug.
You start to drop the sword, it immediately slurps around the hand.
Oleander will hug back.
Oleander, look. It worked.
Oleander smiles. I'm glad that worked.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Oleander. I still
You're
intend to wear the cloak and mask that I bought for the sake of Theodore and any other survivors from my orphanage until I know for sure that that haunting image is gone. But hey, at least I made it somehow useful. Having it enchanted with some environmental protections.
Ooh, lovely. And one more thing that I have a little idea of. Even if he doesn't think that you are you. Well, that doesn't mean that someone like myself couldn't give him a message from you. So if you'd like, you can tell me what you wish to tell him, and I will tell him and say it's from you.
Tell him that Maria and the other look out for him and the other children very much. Tell him I'm sorry I couldn't protect him back then. Tell him I'm trying to be better. Tell him that I miss them all.
And I'll tell him that if all goes well, you'll be home soon. All right?
All right.
I don't want to really make an off-color joke right now.
I'm so
It's not very white of you, Tali.
Shut.
Okay, fine. Richard ruined the tension, so I'll say it. Can't believe I just talked down Bird Hitler.
You're welcome.
Bird Hitler.
Am I wrong?
No, Tali, it's not Bird Hitler, it's Flower Hitler.
Oh, Flower Hitler, you right? What the fuck did I miss?
Well, we have to fill out the wangies.
Oh yeah, Tali hasn't seen this yet because she wasn't.
Oh no,
there.
I saw the form. What is happening?
I'm healing her.
Ah, you're a doctor.
I'm trying to anyway.